All right, let's dive in. Frank Herbert's Heretics of Dune. This one is a doozy. A lot to unpack here.
It is picking up 1,500 years after God Emperor of Dune. Wow, talk about a time jump. A galaxy utterly transformed by the scattering. Herbert really throws us into the deep end.
Doesn't he, though?
Yeah.
And it's like this cosmic game of hide and seek, civilizations rise and fall, powers shift. So this post-scattering galaxy, what's it like?
Well, it's teetering on chaos. The scattering itself, driven by this almost desperate need for freedom to escape stagnation. But the old tensions, they haven't disappeared.
So are we talking utopia or dystopia, or is it more complicated than that?
Oh, it's definitely more complicated. Think, a galaxy brimming with potential, but haunted by the same old power struggles, just in new guises. And speaking of new players, we have to talk about the Honored Matres.
Yeah, the Honored Matres. They sound, well, formidable.
They are! Returning from the scattering with advanced combat skills, a ruthlessness that would make even the Bene Gesserit nervous. And then there's this sexually loaded weapon they've somehow acquired.
Hold on. Sexually loaded weapon. Now, what in Herbert's universe does that even mean?
He's not totally explicit, but it implies they've weaponized sexuality itself. The Bene Gesserit use sexual prowess as a tool. Well, the Honored Matres seem to have upped the ante, taking it to a terrifying new level.
So the Bene Gesserit, those masters of manipulation, are suddenly facing a threat on their own turf. That's got to shake things up.
Definitely. They're still pushing their breeding program, aiming for that Kwisatz Haderach, that ultimate being. But their focus, it's on Duncan Idaho now.
Duncan, of course. Can't have a Dune book without him, right? But why is he so important this time around?
He's more than just a skilled fighter. The Bene Gesserit believe his ghola memories hold secrets, essential secrets for their survival, but there's a twist.
A twist. Of course there is. It wouldn't be Herbert without a good twist.
The Tleilaxu, those masters of genetics, seem to have planted something within Duncan, something hidden, something that could really throw a wrench in the Bene Gesserit's plans.
Okay, layers upon layers here. Galaxy on the edge, new powers with scary weapons, the Bene Gesserit scrambling. Anything else we need to know?
Oh, this is just the beginning. We haven't even touched Arrakis yet. And trust me, it's not the same desert planet we knew. It's changing.
Arrakis. Changing. Wait, what's going on there?
New plant life, a shift in the ecology, spice production like we've never seen before. And it's all connected to this young girl, Sheeana.
Sheeana. Okay, fill me in.
She has this extraordinary power. She can control the sandworms, the source of the spice melange itself.
Control sandworms. But how? Those things are like forces of nature.
Exactly, but Sheeana can tap into their collective other memory, that network of shared experiences, consciousness, whatever you want to call it.
Hold on. So we're talking about more than just ecological change on Arrakis. This has implications for the whole galaxy, doesn't it?
It does. Sheeana's power completely disrupts the balance. Even the Bene Gesserit, with all their cunning, can't easily manipulate someone who controls the very source of spice.
You're right. It's a power they've never encountered before. It's like Herbert is saying, hey, even in this vast universe, real power can reside in the most unexpected places. So we've got Sheeana, this young girl with sandworm control, and then we have Miles Teg.
Ah, Miles Teg, the Mentat, the military strategist. But there's more to him in Heretics, a lot more.
What do you mean more? He's always been pretty impressive.
He undergoes this radical transformation. Mentats are human computers, right? Well,
Yeah.
Teg pushes beyond those limits. He unlocks superhuman abilities. It's fascinating.
So we're not talking just strategy anymore. We're talking about something almost supernatural. How does that change the game?
It throws another wrench into things. Teg becomes this force to be reckoned with, and it all ties back to that theme of adaptation. In a constantly changing galaxy, only those who can adapt, evolve, even transcend their limitations, they're the ones who thrive.
It's like Herbert is taking Darwin's theory of evolution and applying it to the whole galaxy, to consciousness itself. But it's not just physical evolution, is it? There's a mental and even spiritual element to this.
You're right. Sheeana, Teg, they're not just powerful. They represent this potential for growth, for pushing beyond what we think we know. And let's not forget Duncan struggling to reclaim his ghola memories while carrying that secret planted by the Tleilaxu. He's battling for his own identity in a galaxy that wants to control him.
It's a battle we can all relate to in some way, isn't it? This desire to break free from manipulation, to forge our own paths. I'm hooked. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and I can't wait to see where this deep dive takes us.
Oh, we're just getting started. In part 2, we'll delve deeper into those themes you mentioned. Power, Adaptation, survival, and believe me, Heretics of Dune doesn't shy away from the complexities. Adaptation, it's not just about individuals, it's about entire societies, how they have to adapt, survive in this universe Herbert's created. It's fascinating, really.
Makes me think of the Bene Gesserit, masters of adaptation for centuries. The long game, always playing the long game. But now, with the Honored Matres, with Sheeana, their old tricks might not work so well.
You're right, they're up against a wall, their plans are threatened. The Honored Matress, a direct challenge to their authority. And then Sheeana, well, she's a wild card they can't control.
And Duncan, he's not just a pawn in their game. He's fighting back, trying to reclaim his memories, find his own way.
Exactly. Duncan's struggle, it's like this human desire to break free, to forge your own destiny. He's a powerful counterpoint to all that Bene Gesserit manipulation.
And it makes you think about power itself, right? Not just political, not just military, but the power of knowledge, of belief. Even our genes, our very makeup.
Herbert layers it beautifully, all those different kinds of power. The Bene Gesserit with their psychology and breeding programs, the Honored Matres with their methods, and Sheeana with her link to Arrakis itself.
A tapestry of power, you could say. Intriguing how it all comes together, clashes, shapes destinies. But amidst all that power, there's this sense of fragility. Like humanity's always on the edge of survival.
Oh, absolutely. Herbert never lets you forget that. Survival's not a given, not even for the most powerful. Remember, the scattering, that was born out of fear, the fear of stagnation. A desperate gamble to ensure humanity's future.
But spreading out didn't solve the problem, did it? Just changed the nature of the threats. The Honored Matres, for instance, they're like a dark side to that expansionist urge.
A cautionary tale, for sure. Herbert's warning us. Expanding without facing those fundamental issues, power, control, well, it just leads to new forms of conflict.
So what's the answer then? If spreading out isn't enough, how do we survive?
Yeah.
Really survive, thrive even.
That's the big question, isn't it? Herbert doesn't give us easy answers. He offers glimpses of hope, though. Characters like Teg, Sheeana, they point to new possibilities, new ways of understanding the universe, interacting with it. But the path forward, it's not a smooth one.
It's like he's challenging us to think differently about power, about progress, about what it means to survive. What sacrifices are we willing to make? What risks?
Absolutely. And he wraps it all in this amazing science fiction narrative full of intrigue, suspense, and his characters, they're complex, flawed, so compelling.
It's what makes Heretics more than just a sequel. It's a continuation, an evolution of his exploration of what it means to be human. But also, it's a reimagining of Dune, pushing the boundaries.
Oh, and speaking of challenging assumptions, we focused on the Bene Gesserit, but the LA they present a fascinating contrast. Their power, it's rooted in religious fanaticism, like they're carrying out a divine will. How does that clash with the Bene Gesserit's, well, their more pragmatic approach?
It's faith versus reason, isn't it? Two fundamentally different ways of seeing the world. The Bene Gesserit, with their calculated maneuvers, their understanding of psychology, genetics. The Tleilaxu, they're driven by this belief in divine providence.
And it plays out in how they deal with the gholas, those resurrected beings. The Bene Gesserit, they see them as tools, like Duncan, to be controlled, exploited. The Tleilaxu, I think they see them as something more, maybe even a path to transcendence.
It's like they're both playing God, but with completely different motives, methods.
Yeah.
Bene Gesserit want to control the board, the Tleilaxu, well, they want to rewrite the rules entirely.
And Duncan, he's caught in the middle. This symbol of our struggle to define ourselves, to break free from those who want to control us.
It's a powerful reminder. Even in a universe with powerful institutions, advanced tech, the individual's fight for self-determination, it matters. It resonates.
It's what makes us human in the Dune universe and in our own. And that's what Herbert's getting at.
Yeah, he's not just writing science fiction. He's exploring what it means to be human, to adapt, to survive. It's a theme that goes beyond the page.
Absolutely. He challenges us to look inward. What are assumptions? What choices will we make when faced with the unknown? Heretics of Dune, it's not just a great story, it's a mirror. It reflects our own anxieties, our hopes, our desires.
That's why it still resonates decades later. It's entertaining, yes, but it makes you think. It's thought-provoking.
And as we head into the final part of our deep dive, let's think about how all of this, the characters, the themes, how it all comes together in the end. Herbert, as always, leaves us with a lot to ponder.
We've covered so much, the power struggles, the characters of adapting to survive, but there's this one thing, it keeps coming back to me. Sheeana, The sandworms, that whole other memory thing, it's like the key to everything, isn't it?
It's the wild card for sure.
Yeah.
We're talking about the sandworms practically worshipped as gods by the Fremen, more than just creatures, intertwined with Arrakis, with consciousness itself.
Yeah, and Sheeana, she can control them. Tap into that other memory, a network of ancient knowledge, experience. It changes the whole power dynamic, right?
Throws the Bene Gesserit for a loop, that's for sure. Centuries of planning, breeding, manipulating, and then along comes this girl with a connection they can't control.
It makes their game a lot more unpredictable, but it's bigger than the Bene Gesserit, isn't it? What does Sheeana's power mean for the whole galaxy?
That's where it gets really fascinating. Remember Leto II, the God Emperor? His awareness, fragmented, trapped within the sandworms. What if Sheeana, through the other memory, can access not just the sandworms, but pieces of Leto II himself?
Well, hold on. We're not just talking political intrigue here. This is accessing the mind of a being who ruled for thousands of years. What secrets might be locked away in those memories?
Exactly. What knowledge? What perspective? Could she be the conduit for Leto II's influence? A threat to the current powers? It's mind-blowing.
Herbert doesn't give us easy answers, does he? He leaves us with these possibilities, these questions, makes us think.
He's a master of that, sparks our imagination, keeps us hooked. And it circles back to those themes: adaptation, survival, humanity spread out, faced new dangers, discovered incredible powers. But the question is, how do we adapt to this new reality when consciousness itself is intertwined with planets, civilizations?
It's a huge question. No easy answers, that's for
No.
sure. But by exploring it in Heretics, Herbert makes us think critically about our place in the universe, the choices we make.
It's the power of science fiction, right? Not just escape, but reflection, insight into ourselves.
This deep dive, it's been a wild ride. We've uncovered secrets, debated ideas, met some incredible characters, and in the end, you just have to admire Herbert's vision, his imagination, the way he weaves it all together. Entertaining, thought-provoking. It's quite a feat.
It truly is. He reminds us that science fiction, it can be more than just spaceships and lasers. It can hold up a mirror to humanity, make us question, make us wonder.
So to everyone listening, as you journey through Dune, think about these questions. How will Sheeana's power change things? Can humanity adapt, thrive in this ever-changing universe? What does it really mean to survive, not just physically, but to hold on to our values, our potential?
The answers, like always with Herbert, are out there, somewhere in the dunes, waiting to be discovered.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions. Hey, make sure those spice reserves are topped up. You never know when you'll need them.